So before getting to the whole opening, okay, which basically is the first thing that you would say or do, to start an interaction, I just want to mention that what I'm going to teach you here is the art of the cold approach as opposed to, say, the art of the warm approach, which most guys depend on. If you ask your friends, how did you meet your girlfriend? How did you meet Jenny here? Or, how did you fuck that bitch the other night? It's like, how did you pick her up? Most guys kind of wait for that easy opportunity. It's like the warm leads. It's like, well, she was friends with Mike. She's part of my social circle. She's part of that girl's social circle. I was at the bar, she was buying a drink and I was buying a drink. She gave me eye contact beforehand. There was something that kind of like led to him going up and talking to the girl. Okay, it's warm leads, if you will. What I'm going to teach you here is basically how to go up to a complete stranger. Okay, work with cold leads. You're walking down the street, you see a girl, you don't know anything about her. How do you just walk up and just make it happen? You're out in a bar, you're out in a nightclub, you can just pick the girl, go up to her, and start an interaction. Okay, that is what the cold approach is, and this is what we're going to break down here. Okay, you don't need the approach invitation. You don't need everything to be set up perfectly. You just walk up. You don't even need the girl to see you. You just walk up and it's like, oh shit, you just appeared out of nowhere. Hi. You.
Hi.
I saw you. Wait, come here. 2 seconds.
Oh my God.
I know, you're like so creepy, so fucking creepy. Who the fuck are you? I saw you and I had to interrupt the cab ride. Focus, look at me. You can look at me. You're not even looking at me. It's like I'd be like an old fucking man, like molesting you, and you just like look away. Like
no,
a tramp,
I don't like
a tramp.
I don't like old men.
The first thing you need to realize is that your opener does not matter. Okay, your opener does not fucking matter. Remember that forever. Okay, write it down on a piece of paper right now, tattoo it on your arm, repeat it to yourself day and night. Realize that it's not that big of a fucking deal. Okay, it's very common to see guys get into this whole, meeting women in pickup community and just obsess with the opening line. It's like, listen, I've never really talked to a girl before, ever, and I was just wondering, like, what is the best opener? What is the best way to strike up a conversation? Is it going up to the girls and asking them about, say, girly topics? Excuse me, I bought these 2 beautiful little puppies. They're just so adorable. And I was wondering, what are some good puppy names? What would be some romantic, girly, just adorable names for these like innocent little creatures? Is it doing that? Is opening just going up and, like saying something about the environment? It's like, oh, excuse me, I noticed the floors are very clean. Do you like clean floors? Is it going up and introducing yourself? Like, hey, I'm Julian. Nice to meet you. What is the best opener? And there's this massive fixation on it, and ultimately guys just can't move past it. They just are so obsessed. They're like, you know what, if the girl didn't want to fuck me, if the girl didn't want to be my girlfriend, it's because my opener sucked. Okay, and that is the worst headspace to come from. Okay, realize that it doesn't matter. It's never going to happen. You're going to see a girl and she's like, look, I like everything about you, but that opener, I'm sorry, I can't have sex with you. Or the girl's like, listen, I will fuck you just because of your opener. It's never gonna happen, okay? Focus on the bigger picture. Girls are not like guys, okay? We see a hot girl, we're like, oh, she's hot, I wanna fuck her. The girl's not hot, fuck that, I wouldn't touch her with a stick. Girls are different, okay? They're not like, oh, his opener was good, I wanna fuck him, okay? They need a lot more time to get quote unquote turned on. They need a lot more time to get to know who you are, okay? Remember, guys are like a light switch, girls are like a volume knob. Focus on the bigger picture. I remember back in the day, this happened to me too. I was like, you know what is the best way to open with the claw? Okay, and this is like an old school opener where basically you would take your hand like this, like a claw, and you would like claw girls in, okay? And like everyone would be obsessed by it, like, oh, you gotta use the claw. If you do the claw well, you will get laid, okay? It's all about the claw. And I would just be so fixated on it, I didn't even focus on the rest of the interaction. I'm like, you know what, if I just do the claw right, everything will take care of itself. And I remember I was out at clubs and I was like, you know what? What's the best way? Is it grabbing her here? Is it grabbing her there? Is it grabbing her hand? Is it when she's walking? Do I grab her shoulder on the other side? Which way will get me laid? And it's just the worst exertion of like mental energy. Okay, the opener is shit. Now, another thing to realize that kind of goes hand in hand with this is that, remember, girls live in the emotion of the moment and they backwards rationalize. Okay, so what does that mean? Again, if you're fixated on that amazing open, let's just say that you go in with the worst ever. Okay, say you really take it like your nightmare situation. You're like walking through a venue and say the girl sees you and you're just getting rejected left and right by all these other girls. She's like, wow, this guy, wow, tough night for him. And say it's like horrible rejections. Like you go up to the first girl, drink thrown in your face. You know, you go up to the next girl, slapped. You walk up to the third girl, you trip and like fall, and you're just like limping up to this final girl who saw you get rejected. And she's like, wow, here he comes to me, my turn, worst impression. And you just like stumble on the open. You're like, hey, and you say like, throw up on yourself because you're so scared. Now, right then and there, what is she emotionally feeling? Like, wow, this guy, no thank you, fuck off. Okay, your opener is not necessarily good. But let's just say that after throwing up on yourself, out of nervousness, you suddenly just get into the zone. You're just like very on point. You just start chatting like, you know what? What's your name? And you're just, boom, like just fucking killing it. You're purposeful, you're controlled, you're flowing, you're self-amused. And now what is the girl feeling? She's suddenly like turned on. She's aroused. She's like, wow, this guy's actually cool. And because, again, girls are ruled and governed by their emotions, she's feeling that you're cool at that moment in time, and she will backwards rationalize and forget that your open was shit. She will forget that you tripped. She will forget that you got rejected by all these other girls. She's like, damn, at this moment, this guy's cool. Now, by that same note, you could also go up with the best open ever. Like, say you walk up and you're like, you know what, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, this guy's cool. And then what happens, and you probably experienced this if you've talked to, more than one or two girls, you run out of things to say. Things just fizzle out, you get stuck in your head, and 2 minutes in, you're just like, ugh. Now what? What is the girl feeling? This guy's not that cool, and does she remember that your opener was amazing? Fuck no, okay? It's always up and down, up and down, up and down. So don't worry so much about the open, okay? Focus on the bigger picture, focus on what's gonna happen after the open. Realize that girls need a lot more time to know who you are and move past it fast.
I loved you in Lord of the Rings.
What?
I loved you in Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Did you ever watch the movie? Yeah, they all look like, are you Swedish or Norwegian?
Swedish.
That's why you have like this Swedish elvish face. All like elves.
Is that good or bad? Or?
Good. Can you say, this is my favorite line in any language in the world. Can you say God morgon älskling? That's sexy. Like God morgon älskling. Do it once.
God morgon, älskling.
I love it. What is your name? Is your name Malin? What?
Amanda.
Nice to meet you. Amanda.
Now what you're gonna realize, with the first few approaches, trying to go up and open girls, is that your mind's gonna come up with a shitload of fucking excuses. Okay, you're gonna see the girl and you're gonna be like, oh man, like this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could also happen. She's with her friends. When the friends come in, there's a guy there. What if he beats the shit out of me? What if I get rejected? I'm gonna look bad. What is that girl gonna think of me? What are my friends gonna think of me? What is my wingman here gonna think of me? What am I gonna think of myself? Am I dressed well enough? Do I smell well enough? Do I know what to say? Am I in the zone yet? How good is my opener? Okay, like, oh, what about the opener? Excuse, shoved in your fucking head. Okay, and when you're shoved in your head, you just freeze. Okay, you probably experienced this before. You see it, you're like, too many options, too many possibilities. Which one? Stifled. You're fucked. Okay, coming from that headspace, you can even try to go up to a girl, you'll just be like so indecisive, so stiff, there won't be that nice flow, that nice purposefulness. You will probably, most likely, fuck it up. Okay, so how do you prevent this? Very simple. Lower your time of reaction. That's it. Lower your time of reaction. Basically, you see the girl and you just jump in before the excuses pop in your head. That's it. Okay, don't try to prevent the excuses from popping in, because guess what? That's natural human tendency. Okay, whenever we're faced with like an unknown situation, we're just gonna analyze all the possible outcomes. Like even me at this point, you put me in front of a girl, you're like, look, go talk to her 5 minutes from now. Until then, just stand there and look at her. What's gonna happen? I'm probably gonna get shoved in my head. Okay, at first I'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll go talk to her. And I'll have that nice like whoosh, behind it. You make me wait 5 minutes, my mind's gonna start naturally being like, okay, well, there's the girl. Now, you could go up and say this, but you could also go up and say this. Which one do you think she'll like better? Well, based on her clothing, she might like that better. Who do you think she's here with? Those are her friends. How do you think they know each other? How are you gonna win the friends over? Do you think the friends are gonna see you when you walk up? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And I will get shoved in my fucking head. Okay, and especially with something like a cold approach, where you're dealing with the unknown, because who knows what the fuck's gonna happen, going up and talking to a girl, we're always going to assume the worst. That's just humans, okay? You don't know what's gonna happen. In order to keep yourself safe, you assume the worst, okay? And you've probably experienced this too. You see a girl, you're just picturing all these horrible things happen, but say you actually try to go up and say hi, it's never as bad as you thought it was, okay? Your mind fucks with you. So you gotta move fast, okay? You gotta be on top of your shit. You gotta lower that time of reaction, okay? Now what does that mean? Basically, find ways to just see the girl, execute. Okay, now what are some of the things that might hold you back? For a lot of people, it's the whole, what do I say? You know, like there's this girl here, what's the best thing to say in this scenario? You know, what's the best opener? Like this whole, you know, opener obsession again. Now, if this is your sticking point and you want to move past it, use a canned opener. What is that? Basically an opener that you memorize beforehand, okay? Instead of being all stuck like, oh, what am I gonna say for this girl? You know, I wanna be very natural. You know, what's a natural open? I'm waiting for something to pop in my head, but nothing's coming and you just take way too much time. Memorize something simple, okay? An easy one, hey, I'm Julian, okay? Or hey, I'm ... whatever your name is. Just introduce yourself. Now you know what to say. Okay, remember, it doesn't matter what you say. Your opener doesn't matter. Just get something fast so you eliminate that excuse and that just time-consuming concern of what do I say to this girl? Hey, I'm Julian. Excuse me, do you speak English? Okay, or whatever language you speak. Get something memorized beforehand that's just very simple and that eliminates that excuse. Another way is move fast. You know, like too many guys, they see the girl and they just dabble over. You know, they're like, there she is. I'm just gonna walk as slow as I can with no purpose at all. You know, just like, zigzagging around, you know, like an hour passes, 2 hours pass, hello, like that, okay? And it's just horrible, okay? They think that maybe with time, things are gonna get a little better, you know, like I'm just giving myself just a little bit more time, you know, like 1 second, 2 seconds, 2.1, 2.3, it's like, fuck that, okay? When I see the girl, I'm thinking the complete opposite. I'm like, you know what? The more time I take, again, the more excuses are gonna pop in. No one is above that shit. When I see the girl, I just wanna go as fast as I can. It's pretty much like sprint to the girl before the excuses pop in. Now, of course, don't like run up to her, okay? Although you potentially could, but just pretty much walk with purpose. You know, like you see her, first of all, straight line, okay, instead of like zigzagging around, okay, like boom, straight line. If anyone's in front of your way, shove them to the side and just walk with purpose. Be like, boom, like a nice, steady pace. You know what you're fucking doing. Bam, hey, how's it going? I'm Julian. Introduce yourself, okay? None of this dabble shit, okay? That there will just fuck you up. And ultimately, too, what you'll realize is that the faster you move, okay, or basically when your actions move faster than your thoughts, and, you know, you just can't keep up with what's happening, you pretty much get into the zone. You know, you become very present to the moment, very just at ease, and things just work out. A concept that goes hand in hand with this is not calibrating before, but calibrating after the fact. Okay, like don't try to create those perfect opportunities, you know, like try to recreate warm approaches, if you will. You know, you might see a girl sitting at a bar, say she looks a little sad, you know, she's ordering a drink. You're like, you know what? I'm going to adapt to this situation here. You know, I'm gonna try to calibrate before. If she looks sad, it's probably best if I look sad as well. You know, if she's ordering a drink, I might also order a drink. You know, you try to predict the future, you know, change who you are, you know, become like this little social chameleon in order to maximize the reactions you're gonna get from girls. Okay, so you might go up to her and be like, you know what? I'm very sad as well. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm also ordering drinks. We're both ordering drinks. We have so much in common. Hey, I'm Julian. Okay, and you try to anticipate that. You know, it's like if she's sad, I'm sad too. You know, social chameleon, don't do that. The first thing you have to realize is that you're dealing with human beings. Okay, like this isn't some little video game, you know, where everyone is the same and you're just fucking around with the circumstances. Here, all of your interactions are going to be unique and everyone is unique in terms of where they're emotionally at. Okay, realize that, and secondly, there's always going to be certain elements of randomness. Okay, in any social interaction, there's always going to be certain elements of randomness. Elements are just out of your control and that are going to prevent you from predicting what's going to happen. Okay, now what do I mean by that? You can go up to the nicest looking girl in the world. Say she's even smiling to you. She's like, ah, hey. And she's like very innocent looking and you say hi. And as soon as you say hi, what happens? Whoa, what the fuck? Get the fuck away from me. You're like, whoa. Whoa, I'm sorry, I didn't see that one coming. You go up to the meanest looking girl, you know, like just the complete bitchy looking girl, just like blowing off guys left and right. You say hi, what happens? Oh, hey. And just like extremely happy to see you. Thanks for approaching me. Oh my God, just put your dick in my mouth right now. And you're like, wow, I didn't expect that, okay? You didn't expect it, and it's impossible to expect it, okay? It's impossible to, again, predict what's gonna happen, so don't even try to calibrate beforehand, okay? How do you know what's gonna happen? By taking action and just jumping the fuck in there and finding out for yourself, okay? And that's the whole concept here. Don't try to calibrate before, jump in, and what is opening? Learning how to deal with what happens after the fact, okay? Once you jump in and say she freaks out, you're like, oh shit, now she's freaking out, and then you fucking calibrate. Then you make it relatable to the girl, not beforehand. And remember, when calibrating after the fact, about the 3 steps that I covered when talking about social intuition, okay? The whole pressure on, pressure off. Basically, take a step back, use a statement of empathy, and quickly change the topic and act as if it never happened, okay? You go in a little too strong off the open, the girl freaks the fuck out, she's like, whoa! You're like, hey, I'm just kidding. My name is Julian, what's your name? Okay, and then just wash, rinse, repeat. Learn to deal with the bullshit, okay? Ultimately, that is how you just get rid of that whole like approach anxiety, like, oh my God, you know, what's gonna happen? I'm dealing with the unknown. It's you basically reach a point where you just jumped in, so many different interactions, you had to deal, and again, calibrate after the fact with so much bullshit that you ultimately reach a point where there's nothing new, okay? Like you know what to expect. At this point here, I can go up to a girl and I can pretty much, you know, I know that I dealt with whatever reaction she's gonna give me. Okay, it's pretty rare I'm gonna say hi to a girl and she's gonna do something that I haven't seen before with another girl. Okay, now of course, everyone's still unique, okay, but there are patterns that emerge. And then you just have that confidence, like, you know what? I just trust myself that because I've dealt with that before, I could surely deal with it again. Bang, and they just go in strong, you know, and you don't, again, like dabble over, you just jump in with such certainty and such, again, confidence that the girl just assumes that you don't even know what rejection looks like. Okay, and that's like a beauty of it too. It's like when you don't calibrate before and you just jump in, again, you lower that time of reaction, you have the fucking confidence behind it, it seems like you never get rejected, okay? Because if you did, you'd be like, oh, like playing it a little bit more safe, okay? So jump in strong, and then if it was a little too strong, deal with it after. And don't be afraid of changing courses of action. You know, as guys, we're very logical. We're like, you know what? If I'm gonna open strong like this, it's going to fucking work. And you open, you're like, hey, how's it going? And say the girl's like a little freaked out. Okay, instead of taking the 3 steps, calibrating after, you know, making it relatable to the girl, it's easy to get caught up in just being like imposing your way. It's like, nope, this is what I wanna do. This is what I wanna do. And the girl just freaks the fuck out. Okay, so go in strong, but really notice how she reacts to you. Okay, this kind of links into the girl's bind temperature. Remember when I talked about like the download bar? Usually in the beginning of the night, the download bar is down there. And as the night progresses, ready for sex. Okay, opening allows you to kind of see where that download bar is at and don't ignore it. Okay, if it's the beginning of the night and the download bar is down here and you just walk in like, hey, boom, and you grab her, okay, she might just tense the fuck up. And in that case, you got to be like, oh, I'm acting as if her download bar is up here. 3 steps, calibrate after the fact to adapt onto her download bar down there. And then throughout the interaction, by putting the pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off, you amp it up till she's ready for sex. Okay, but don't just try to impose your way. Like, don't be like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is my, you know, these are my intentions. You know, like, I want to grab her. It's like, no. At any moment in time, there's an infinite amount of different things you want to do. Maybe one of them is grabbing her, but if she can't relate to it yet, calibrate after, choose something that she is able to relate to, change courses of action, and then slowly build up alongside that bind temperature.
No, my boyfriend's watching. Sorry.
Oh, look, it'll work. I love you.
And then you accidentally stole it.
It'll work. Come.
He really does.
I do. 2 minutes. Does it work? What's your name?
My name's April.
Julian, nice to meet you. Wait, why are you giving me, why?
You're scaring me. I'm from North Carolina, guys. Don't do that.
I'm sorry. Usually I would actually spin hug you, but now I'm like, oh, I guess I'll hold
You're
off.
Hollywood. You're Hollywood.
No.
No, you spin and then you hug. And then do you do the dip also? The Hollywood dip?
I'm not originally from here, but thank you.
Oh, where are you from?
Opening is also when it's time to set the frame of the interaction. Okay, whatever frame you set from the moment that you say hi, okay, as soon as you open, is usually the frame that's going to last throughout the interaction. Okay, it's very hard to kind of change your mind halfway through, okay, because you kind of mismanage the expectations. You're like, this is what's up. Actually, this is what's up. And the girl will lose massive attraction. She's not like, hey, this guy doesn't really know who he is or what he's about or what he wants. He's not clear in that. and she'll bounce the fuck out. Okay, so what are the frames that you want to set from the start? The first one is being man to woman, not friend to friend. Okay, it's very easy to go up to a girl and kind of feel ashamed in terms of like putting your intentions out there, you know, feeling ashamed of letting her know what's up. Like, look, I'm a guy, you're a girl, I'm not talking to you to become another one of your friends. I'm not talking to you to ask you for directions, for example. You know, I'm not talking to you to, you know, be a little orbiter, you know, or to like just chat. You know, I'm talking to you to fuck you. Okay, and you have to be very clear in that. Now, you don't necessarily have to verbalize it. You don't be like, hey, I want to fuck you. Okay, that'd be like massively uncalibrated because she wouldn't necessarily relate to it. But it has to be very present in the vibe that you put out. You know, it's like, this is what's up. Okay, don't hold back. Don't worry about all the social conditioning you went through, you know, especially as a kid, where it's like, if I let the girl know that I like her, people will make fun of me. I'll be shut down. It's rude. It's impolite. She'll reject me. It's like putting my personality on the line. I'm just going to weasel my way in. Fuck that. Walk up. This is what's up. Man to woman, not friend to friend. Now, this is something that usually is communicated in the vibe, you know, like the energy that you put out there. You know, if you're very purposeful, you know, like you just let go of all the filters. You know, you don't feel, again, ashamed or like you need to justify your intentions. You're just very unapologetic. You know you're a good guy. You know you like sex. You're like, this is what's up. And she can just like feel it off of you. But some ways to kind of amplify it are these. Okay, the first one is laser eye contact. Okay, as soon as I open a girl, I'm just like, boom. Okay, laser fucking eye contact. A girl can pretty much tell anything and everything just by looking in your eyes. Okay, if you're a little nervous, so you're a little like tense, she'll sense in your eyes you're a little tense. If you're trying to think ahead, like, what am I gonna say next? What am I gonna say next? She'll see it in your eyes. Okay, if you're like trying to be ashamed of your intentions, like, hey, she'll see it in your eyes. If you're like, just like very steady and like, that's what's up. Hey, how's it going? Boom, she'll be like, oh shit. Man to woman, okay? The other one is talking in a breaking rapport type tonality. Okay, this is the way that I'm talking to you right now, where your voice kind of goes down at the end. Okay, it's easy to go up to a girl, especially if she's hot, and kind of try too hard. You know, trying for a rapport tonality where basically your voice goes up at the end. You know, you see a hot girl, you walk up, you're like, hey, how's it going? Hey, you know, and you're like trying a little too hard. You can probably catch some of your friends do that when they talk to girls. Like, hey, oh, you like dogs as well? Okay, kind of like talking that tonality. Don't do that, okay? The one in the middle is neutral tonality, where you're just like neutral rapport, where you're just like, hey, how was it going? Kind of like a robot. It's just very flat. The girl experiences nothing. You want to be breaking rapport. Like, hey, what's up? How's it going? The way you talk to your friends, the way you basically like I'm talking to you here. Hey, I'm Julian. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Mixed with the eyes, okay? Man to woman, okay? A girl's friend isn't gonna be like, hey, what's your name? Okay? That there's something that a guy who will fuck her will do. The third one is physicality, okay? Like being physical, boom, from like the moment you say hi. Usually if you're, again, a little friend, you're not gonna be like grabbing the girl, for example. Okay, and I'll cover this in the next section that's about to come. But those three elements kind of amplify that man to woman type of vibe. Now you don't need them, okay? You don't need to be all like physical to be man to woman, but you're usually gonna need like one of the three, okay? If I'm just like, hands in my pocket, laser eye contact, she'll kind of know what's up, and usually she'll just tell by the vibe you put out there, okay? But you have to set this from the very moment you say hi, okay? And really don't hold back. Don't be like, oh, but what if she knows? She has to know, okay? Remember this, when you're fucking her, she knows. Okay, a great way to kind of ask yourself, am I man to woman or not, is actually this. You know, and I do this every once in a while when I'm talking to a girl. I'm like, look, if suddenly me and this girl were both transported in a room, say we're isolated and there's like a bed, would it make sense for me to throw her on the bed and fuck her? Or would she be like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? If she's gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not man to woman, I'm friend to friend. Okay, she has to know what's up. Now, the longer you wait to do this, the more awkward it's going to be. Okay, if you go up and you're just like, you know what? I'm a friend. Hey, how's it going? And you start talking like that for like 20 minutes. And then later on, you're like, by the way, I have a dick. Okay, or say you start like going in for like a kiss out of the blue, or you ask for a number even out of the blue. She's gonna be like, holy shit, this is not what I expected. Okay, you mismanaged the expectations. So if you wanna get away with it, of just being like, this is me, it has to be from the start, okay? It can't be wishy-washy. You go in, you're like, this is me, this is what's up, and as long as you're clear in who you are, the girl will accept it, Okay, it doesn't matter who you are. Okay, you can be like, look, I love sex, I love to fuck bitches. She will love it. She's like, oh, that's just who he is. You can go up like, hey, I'm a really nice guy. I just love to orbit and just be friends. She'll love it as well. What do girls hate? When you try to be both. Okay, if you go up like, hey, what's up? By the way, I'm also like this. She's like, ugh. And if you're like, hey, I'm like this, but I'm also like this. Ugh. It's like, no. Pick what you want. Okay, realize, look, you're a good guy, you have good intentions. You want her, let her know.
What the fuck? What's up? Girl, you think I'm gangster? Be cool, you treat me like dog shit? Fuck you think you are?
Oh my god, my dog.
No, hey,
I give him better food than I give him,
Girl,
right?
focus, come here. Fuck are you? No roses.
Hot
Not
dog,
for that,
I want
not
hot
for
dog, I want hot dog.
it. Not for it. It doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve it. It's dog shit.
Another frame too that makes a massive difference, when interacting with women is assuming familiarity. Okay, and you have to set that from the start as well. Like most guys when they go up to girls, they really view them as like these majestic beings that they have to conquer. It's like us versus them. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna open, and I'm gonna win her the fuck over. It's kind of like the enemy. Okay, if you take like two islands, you kind of view yourself as being on this island, the girl is on that island, and you're basically using game to get to her island and win her over. Now, instead of that, and it's coming from that very confrontational frame, assume that you're already on the same island as her. Okay, you're already on the same team. You're already part of like the cool kids, and you kind of just assume that familiarity. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? And you kind of treat her like a longtime friend, like you've known her for years. Okay, like the frames you set, girls will always go along with it. Okay, if you're like man to woman, she's like, oh, with this guy, it's man to woman. If you go up and you're like, hey, we've known each other for years. Okay, now you don't say that, it's just assumed in the vibe. She'll be like, oh, okay, we've known each other for years. If you go up and you're like, oh, she doesn't like me. She's like, oh, I guess with him, I'm not supposed to like him. Okay, so assuming familiarity is key, okay? Treat her like she's like your longtime friend. Treat her like she's your girlfriend. Okay, just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Boom, okay, she'll fall into that. Now, what's cool with that as well is that you can kind of play with the social dynamics of her and her friends, if she's with some friends. If you just walk up and grab her like, hey, how's it going? And it's just very congruent, just very smooth, she's probably gonna assume that, you might know the friends because you're just like so, wow, like when you come in, she's like, wow, no normal guy would come in like that smooth and just acting that familiar with me. We probably have a friend in common, and the friends will think the same thing. They'll be like, oh, this girl probably knows him from before. It's probably one of her friends. We're not going to interfere, and you don't stand out that much from the environment either. If you're like running around talking to all these girls, you're not like that little pickup guy, because it just seems like you know everybody. Okay, now that doesn't mean go in half-assing it like, hey, we're friends. Like, still be like, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you, but, we fucked before.
That's my other girlfriend, by the way. It's true. Excuse me. Come meet my girlfriend right now. Shake her hand. Don't embarrass me. Trust me. She's Swedish. She's Swedish. Tell her we've known each other for years. Hi, Elskling. This is my girlfriend. Just shake her hand. Do it now.
When you open, what a girl basically wants to know is, who the fuck is this guy? Okay, like you walked up, like straight line to the girl, lowered your time of reaction, you didn't calibrate before the fact, you just jumped in like, hey, what's up? I'm ... She's like, oh shit, like here's a sex-worthy guy, like let's see what he's about. So let's see what this guy's reality is like. Okay, and that's really the girl's frame of mind. They're talking to all these different guys, they're experiencing them, and they're basically visiting all these different realities. It's like, what's this guy's reality like? What's this guy's reality like? And at the end, they just pick the guy who has the most sex-worthy reality, okay? The guy that just gives them the best emotional experience. Now, when you understand this as a guy, like, oh, she just wants to know what I'm about, it's very easy to fall into the trap of being like, you know what? I'm just gonna logically convey that to her, being very logical. I'm just gonna tell her what I'm about, like, listen, I'm a very intelligent, sophisticated young man, like I'm very emotional, I'm very respectful, I'm very modest, I'm very caring, I'm very giving, I'm very loving, etc., etc. Like, this is my family tree, this is my career, this is where I wanna go with life, these are my friends, this is who I am, here is my resume, okay? Thinking that basically that's gonna tell the girl who they are. Wrong. Okay, girls don't give a fuck about that superficial little logical layer. Okay, now of course, it does play a small part, but it's not that important. What they're looking at are these subcommunications. Okay, how does a girl get to know who you are? By emotionally experiencing you. Okay, now how does she emotionally experience you? By reacting to you. Okay, and how does she react to you? By you ultimately setting the rhythm of the interaction and being at the cause and not at the effect. Okay, so the best example I have to illustrate this concept was a client that I was coaching in New York City. Okay, so it was late at night, we were on the street, and there was this girl standing at the corner with her cell phone texting her friends. Okay, so I send him up, I'm like, you know what, go talk to that girl. So he approaches, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Paul. Okay, so he goes and writes, bang, hey, I'm Paul, how's it going? Now, what does the girl do? Oh, hey, Paul, listen, I'm having trouble with my cell phone here. I'm trying to, text my friends. It's just not working. Like, can you help me, Paul? Okay, and what does Paul do? Sure, of course I'll help you. What seems to be the problem here? Like, are you using Verizon? Are you using AT&T? Like, how can I be of assistance? Okay, now what Paul did here, if you take from a social standpoint, was the right thing. It's like a girl's asking for fucking help her. Okay, don't be a dick. What does society say? Listen, be polite, be considerate. Girl's having trouble with her phone, help her. But ultimately, that fucked him up. Why? Because he adapted onto her rhythm. Okay, so view it like this. Paul going up and introducing himself is basically, hey, what's up? I'm Paul. That's him doing. Okay, that's him being at the cause, not at the effect. Okay, he has a certain rhythm, if you will. Okay, kind of view it like a wheel that's turning. Hey, what's up? I'm Paul. Now the girl also has a rhythm. Okay, before you guys have an interaction, you have a rhythm, she has a rhythm, you interact, and ultimately someone adapts onto the other person's rhythm. And you want the girl to adapt onto yours. So her rhythm is, oh, hey, Paul, listen, I'm having trouble with my cell phone. Can you help me? Okay, hey, Paul, I'm having trouble. Her doing, him basically being at the effect. Now, what he chose to do is adapt onto hers. Sure, I'll help you. Okay, but what he should have done is, listen, I'll help you, but first, what's your name? And be doing. Okay, why? Because even though it's polite to help her out, she's not emotionally experiencing him. Okay, it's kind of like, say I'm talking to you here, through the camera onto your computer screen. I'm the one who's doing here. I'm doing all the talking. I'm at the cause, and basically you're at the effect. It could be you here on the other side of the screen. It could be anyone else. I would be feeling the same thing. Now, say you magically went through your computer screen, came out the camera here, and started talking to me. Suddenly, you're at the cause, I'm at the effect. I'm experiencing you, and I'm feeling very different. Say if it's you talking to me or another guy who's talking to me. Okay, it's like I get to experience your uniqueness, if you will. So when the girl's there talking to Paul and he's helping her out, it could be Paul or any other guy helping her out. She'd be feeling the exact same thing. Okay, because she's the one who's doing and she's not ultimately getting to know who he is. So you want to be very aware of that. When you open and you go in, boom, you have to set the rhythm. You have to be at the cause, okay? Don't let the girl just take over the interaction that way. It's like you're the one who's doing, you're on your path and purpose, bang, 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 and she adapts onto you. Okay, now you do this until you reach the hook point, and I'll cover this in one of the later sections. Then you can kind of take a step back and kind of both experience each other and build the interaction that way. But until you reach that hook point, you have to be, again, putting your personality out there, okay? Giving her, again, that ride and that glimpse into your unique reality. Now that could be in terms of walking up and just being like, what's up? I'm Julian. What's your name? What do you do? Like those short, like breaking rapport type sentences, like, hey, what's up? Da-da-da. Da-da-da, like poke, poke, poke. I'm at the cause, you're at the effect, and like cutting her threads. She's like, listen, with my phone. It's like, sure, but first, what's your name? Oh, cool, where are you from? I'm from here, where are you from? What do you do? Okay, kind of like imposing yourself that way and kind of like dominating the interaction that way, where it's like, look, this is my rhythm, submit. But it could also just be like walking up and being silent. For example, if I go up to a girl and I just don't even say a word, I'm just like, what's she gonna do? She's probably gonna be like, what? 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 Okay, now what happened there? I'm not talking, okay, but I'm still doing my thing. Okay, I'm on my path, I'm on my purpose. She reacts to me. She's like, what? Okay, and she adapts on and ultimately gets to experience me. Okay, so you have to set the rhythm and don't fall into the temptation, of just like letting her take over. Okay, because it's very fucking tempting, especially if you're new. You go up to a girl, you get your fucking good reaction. She's like smiling, like, here, can you help me with the phone? You're like, she's talking back, good emotions, validation, and you just like let her take over, and you kind of feel like good because of that. Guess what? If you are, she isn't. Okay, you have to be doing. Give her that emotional fucking ride. okay? And this is why self-amusement is so important, you know, like being pumped by your own actions, not her reactions. It's like you doing your thing, okay, pumping your own state, like my actions, I'm taking over, I'm on my path, I'm on my purpose, making yourself feel so good, and then she just joins you along for the ride. Okay, and ultimately just gets to know you, and because you feel so good, your reality is so amazing, you are the most sex-worthy guy around, and she will fuck you for it.
Be like, I beg you. Be like, I share this with you. And then just hit him over the head.
It's just a dream.
Oh my god!
It's just a dream. Come here. Who the fuck are you? What's your name?
Hi!
Hey. Be real. Be cool. Be normal. None of that shit.
What is happening right now?
True love. We're lost in a moment. No, I'm kidding. Hi.
Is this love at first sight?
I saw you. I'd say hello.
Oh,
Julie.
hi. Christina. Nice to meet you.
I look better without the headband, but it makes me more obtainable. So
Oh, okay.
I thought it'd give us a chance.
Yeah. Okay. The headband, we thought the headband would give you a chance.
And the beard.
Yeah.
But that's my New Year's resolution, not to shave this year.
Oh, okay.
But wait, what's your name?
Christina. Your name is
You
Julie?
just shake my hand over. Julien. Julian. Where are you from?
I'm from here. Where are you from?
I live here now. Originally Switzerland. It's east of here,
Okay.
across the sea.
Oh, okay. Across the sea and over in Switzerland. Okay.
Not Sweden.
Oh, yeah. I know the
You're so smart.
I know.
That's why I love
that
you.
makes me really smart, right?
How old are you?
Compared to these girls coming around.
Hey, how old are you?
24. How old are you?
Do you ever come here or never?
I never come here. I'm here for a friend's birthday.
Damn it. What area do you live in LA or are you visiting?
No, I live here. I'm applying to law school right now. And I grew up here. I went to UCLA undergrad. And I'm also applying to law school right now at UCLA. So hopefully I'll get it. Yeah. What about you?
So this really covers everything you need to know in terms of opening and cold approach pickup. Okay, number one, your opener doesn't matter. Don't fixate on that. Don't let it get to you. Don't worry so much about, oh, what's the best opener? What am I gonna say? Realize that it really doesn't matter, okay? Girls oftentimes forget about what your opener was in the first place. It's not the determining factor. Girls live in the emotion of the moment, even if it wasn't necessarily that good. As long as the bigger picture is good, they'll backwards rationalize and forget about it completely, okay? It's irrelevant. Just say whatever comes to mind, okay? Number two, lower your time of reaction. You see the girl? Jump in. Don't wait for all the excuses to pop in, okay? Like walk with purpose, straight line to the girl, walk fast, don't dabble around. You know, if you are still worried about what to say, get a canned opener and just get in there fast. Number three, don't calibrate before, calibrate after the fact, okay? Like you're never going to be able to predict what's going to happen. You're never gonna have those perfect situations. Just jump in and learn how to deal with the bullshit, okay? You're dealing with human beings. There's always elements of randomness. Just learn how to embrace them. That's just gonna give you the confidence to just jump in with full certainty and make it seem like you never get rejected, ever. Number four, set the frame of the interaction from the very start. The longer you wait, the more awkward it's going to be because you mismanage the expectations. You want to be man to woman, not friend to friend, where she knows what's up, she knows what she's in for, and assume familiarity. Number five, get her to react to you. Okay, that's how she ultimately gets to know you, by emotionally experiencing you, and you have to be setting the rhythm of the interaction.